Are you confident about selling and delivering your coaching offer simultaneously? Do you feel like you can do that? Or are you someone who feels like, okay, no, I have to have the program completed. I have to have everything done before I can sell it. Let me know in the chat if this is something that you are debating about, or if it's something that you're struggling with. You want to sell, but then your nervous system is just like, wait, we can't sell because it's not complete. What if someone buys and it's incomplete? What if someone buys and module 7 isn't completed yet? Like, this is so important to understand how the process works so that you can confidently sell, right? I'm going to break down my 4-step protocol for you to learn how to simultaneously sell your offer and still deliver it on the back end. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what that is, because confidence doesn't come from you completing the entire program. That's not where your confidence comes from. Confidence as a coach is your ability to lead your clients on a path, on a journey, through a roadmap, right? And so I'm going to be breaking down exactly what it is that you need. All right. And so the very first thing, right? So there's 4 steps. And the very first step that you need is you need to clarify the change. And this is the very first lesson of my offer suite. The very first thing in module 1 that I teach my clients is how to create a signature framework. How to create a signature framework. We go through it inside of my treasure trial framework, right? But when you are able to clarify the change, this is where you are able to now talk about where your clients are, and after working with you, where they're going to be. It's getting them from the hell that they're living in to the heaven that they desire to be in. And so when you have clarity on the change that you provide your clients, when you have clarity on the transformation that your clients will leave with after working with you, you can now have the confidence in selling, because that's truly all that it is, right? It's like, once you have like your signature framework, which is your 3 to 5 step process to get them from the trial that they're in over into the triumph that they desire to be in, from the pain that they're in over into the deep pleasure that they desire to be in. Once you have those 3 to 5 steps, then you're able to speak to that, right? Because you're not out here just selling modules, you're selling a movement. You're selling the transition that they're going to actually leave with, right? And so you don't have to have all the PDFs. You don't have to have all the documents. You don't have to have all the videos, all the recordings. You don't need all that. All you need to do is clarify the change that your signature framework delivers. And once you have that clarity within, this is why inside of my coaching program, Resign, I help my clients to get clarity. That's the very first module, getting clarity on who exactly you're helping, what problem are you helping them solve, why are you helping them solve it? Like, getting clear on exactly what the breakthrough is going to be at the end, right? And so for me, I know for my coaching program, I help my clients to transition into their calling of coaching full time. That is what that's what I've been called to do. I've been able to do it, and I've been able to help so many other women to build their coaching businesses, build their profitable, purpose-driven businesses, and they're on the way to resigning, several of my clients. And so that's the very first thing. And the reason why I just felt led to even speak about this today is because I was on a coaching call with a client recently who was hesitant about, we got to the root because she wasn't promoting her offer as much as she would have liked to. And the reason why was because her nervous system was dysregulated, because she was thinking, well, what if people sign on and it's not completed? And so I had to walk her through this process and tell her, like, what you're selling is the transformation. That's what you're selling. And as your clients come in, you're able to build your program with them, right? You're able to, and we're going to jump into it even deeper, but it's really important that you understand that once you have this clarity on your step-by-step process and your framework. So once she created her framework, she felt so much better. She felt so much more convicted, because before she met me, she was coaching. However, she did not have a system. She did not have a framework. She had no step-by-step guide to lead her clients. So once we created her framework, she now felt so much more convicted, so much more clarity when it came to marketing, and her sign up rates increased. Okay. And so that's the first point. The second thing that you want to make sure you're doing so that you can simultaneously deliver and sell your coaching program, you want to chart the curriculum. So what do I mean by this? This is having structured lessons. So the very first thing was, having the signature framework, which is your 3 to 5 step process. But so you want to think of your 3 to 5 step process as the modules, right? This is how I teach it when I'm helping my clients to build out their curriculums. You want to think of your framework as the modules, and then the curriculum are the lessons, the lesson plans underneath each module. So for example, so for me, I'll just share mine. So I have 3 modules, right? Realign with your creative for clarity on your calling. That's the C, my CPR framework. The second module is refine your messaging to align with your purpose. That's the P. And then the third step is to revive your business with purpose-driven revenue. And this is where we create your simplified sales funnel, right? And so under each one of those modules, I have lessons. I have 3 lessons under each one of those modules, where we're diving deeper into creating your signature offer, where we're diving deeper into refining your messaging to align with your purpose. I teach story selling, right? I teach how to differentiate your macro message from your micro message. I teach how to magnetize your audience through messaging, right? Connection. And so the third module is where I help my clients to simplify their sales funnel. I teach exactly the step-by-step process to create a simplified sales funnel that generates sales consistently in your business so that you can finally revive your business and resign from your 9 to 5. And so this is that's my framework. And so under each one of those, once you chart the curriculum and you have structured lessons in your mind, this is what regulates your nervous system. This is exactly what regulates your nervous system. So now you're not just out here marketing with no structure. You have structure. And this is what builds the confidence when you're speaking about your offer. Because now, even though you don't have every single video completed, you have a path. You have a proven path. You have a framework. You have a roadmap that you can now take your clients through. And so you don't need every single lesson recorded. All you need is the order of the lessons. You just need structure, a simplified outline of how you're going to take them from where they are to where they desire to be. And so now you're not sitting around like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to teach. You have structure. You have structure. And I don't know if you noticed this, but every single day on the Daily Dose, this is why I never run out of content, because I'm literally just pulling from a piece of my structured lessons. And I have so many lessons, but I can just pull from it, right? And that's what I'm teaching. And it's the same thing. Like, you show up and you market and you teach from what you've already structured in your curriculum. And this is why marketing becomes easy. And so the third part of this 4-step process is you want to convert through conversation. So you sell the transformation, right? So first you need your signature framework, you need structured lessons, and then you're going to sell the transformation. This is you're converting through conversation. You're showing up, you're marketing, you're selling now. You're selling before the program is complete. You don't have to have a completed program. All you need is a pathway. That is it. And so when you convert with conversations, you're selling up. You're showing up and you're selling. You're showing up and you don't need a bunch of recordings. You don't need a bunch of modules completed to the T. And I'm going to explain in the 4th step exactly how we break that down. Because when you're marketing, when you continue to show up and you're converting through conversations, you're marketing constantly, that's what builds the conviction. So as you're pulling from the lessons, as you're pulling from your clients' journeys, your client stories, if you don't have clients yet, your own personal transformation, as you're pulling from this is what builds the conviction and your confidence while you're marketing, because you have clarity, right? And so we're going to jump into the fourth lesson, which is coach while creating. Coach while creating. And this is systemized delivery. So this is your delivery cadence, right? One thing you have to understand is as a coach, you are leading, you are guiding your clients. And so all you need to do is be one step ahead of them. That's it. You only need to be one step ahead of your clients. There's literally a movie called One Step Ahead. I believe that's the name of the movie, where it's just, no, is that the, yeah, I think that's the name of the movie. I'm butchering it, but it's with Leonardo DiCaprio, who was a con artist. And when the feds finally caught up to him because he was posing as a professor at a university, and when the feds caught up to him and they were like, how are you able to deceive your students, how are you able to teach the students? And he was just like, oh, you just need to be one chapter ahead. That's it. And it's the same thing with you. As you're delivering and you're coaching while you're creating your offer, you've created the outline, but when you go to deliver it, now you just need a systemized cadence for delivery, a systemized delivery method. So are you showing up weekly and coaching your clients? Are you showing up bi-weekly? What does it look like, right? So week after week, if you're doing it weekly, you're when you're teaching the lessons, you're able to get real-time feedback. You're able to see, okay, where do I need to slow down? Where do I need to refine? Where do I need to insert an explanation, a further deeper example? Where do I need to insert maybe an exercise that would allow them to understand better, right? And so when you're teaching live, I call it live leadership. When you're leading your clients live, the whatever the nuances of your program, you can tweak those and make it better and refine it before you finalize it. You always want to continue to refine it before you finalize it. And so your clients, as you're leading and guiding them, will give you feedback in real time. And so now you're no longer guessing, oh, maybe this will fit into the program. No, now there's certainty because you're coaching while you're creating. And all you need to do is literally be one step ahead. Have your lesson plans already. So you already have the lessons outlined, right? You have the structured lessons as we discussed in part 2. But now it's just preparing those lessons, if it's a workbook or whatever, like the week before. And this is how you do it.